Well, you may not have known it, but today is Rare Disease Day, and half of all sufferers of rare diseases are children. There's one disease that is so rare itself it is known as an orphan because the numbers are too low to count. As it turns out, though, it is unusually plentiful in Greater Victoria. At least 4 toddlers in the capital region are living with mastocytosis. The disease causes spots and hives, and it does eventually go away entirely at puberty. But as Mary Beth Burton shows us, the disease can also be deadly.
20-month-old Charlie Kittleson is revved up and ready for fun just like any other toddler. But Charlie is special. He suffers from mastocytosis. The spots on his body led to the diagnosis more than a year ago.
And that kind of was the starting point for, specialists and figuring out how to treat it and what did this mean for Charlie. Could we find a cure?
There is no cure. Most of the time, the rare disease mastocytosis is confined to a skin condition. The triggers are many and include heat, food, and high emotions.
He'll get flushing, so from his top to his toes, he'll get like bright red. And then he also will develop hives.
The main treatment is antihistamines, a common allergy medication.
For 75 to 80% of them, something happens at the onset of puberty and they don't know what it is, but it will actually cause a full regression of the mastocytosis. The spots go away, there's no longer any symptoms.
A full recovery. But for the rest, the disease becomes systemic mastocytosis, organs can be affected, and it can morph into a potentially fatal form of leukemia. Mastocytosis is so rare it's called an orphan disease with numbers too few to count. Strange then that Charlie is one of at least 4 boys in Victoria living with it.
Probably just a statistical blip. I've been in practice for more than 25 years, and I think I've only seen 1 case before this, and now I'm following 3.
Dr. Kent admits with 8,000 potential rare diseases in the world, doctors rely heavily on the child's biggest advocate.
The parent oftentimes becomes the expert. And I find that very helpful because they review the literature just like we do. And they're very helpful in keeping us up to date and on our toes.
In playgroups like these, Charlie's wearing a t-shirt that says, "My spots are angel kisses," because as you imagine, other parents will have questions like, are the spots contagious? Charlie's family is hoping his story will help other children with rare diseases and their healthy playmates.
People see our children on the playground, they'll know that it's not chickenpox and it's not contagious. And, children do have some limitations, but we try to offer them as much of a varied life. And so I think that's important for these kids. We need to be the voice that they can't be.
You can find out more information at mastokids.org. In Saanich, Mary Beth Burton, A News.